Comedy Cellar Live tonight. I am not your host, so you don't have to leave. I'm just getting it started till Noam gets here. Okay, we're gonna have a great time like we do every time I've done this podcast. I've always had fun, and I've done probably like 10.
There's always a first.
Yes, well, yeah. Thank you. Already, I'm being heckled by one of the owners. Anyhow, we have a great show. I'm not going to introduce our guests because one of them I forgot their name. So let's get started. We got Justin Silver, John Lasseter, the guy above him, Estee,
Matt Ruby.
Matt. I knew his first name was Max, but I didn't know his last name. So
getting close, Rich. It's Matt, but we'll take it. We'll take it.
I didn't know your last name. I'm sorry. I mean, I recognize you. If you walked up to me in the street, I would go, "Hey, Max," and then I would stop.
Matt, not Max.
Like Matthew, not Max.
See, I would have made.
We're gonna get there eventually, Rich.
I would have said, "Hey, Max," and then you would have said me, and I would go, "No, I'm looking over your shoulder at a guy down the street." But how you doing, Matt? So we got
Rob, I'm doing great. Good.
That's okay. At this point, it doesn't matter what our names are because we're all done anyhow. Estee's smiling. You're in such a great mood right now.
You make me laugh. You really do. I know you don't mean to, but you.
That's it's so opposite when I'm on stage or when I'm at my desk. When I mean to make people laugh, nothing. Justin, where are you at?
I'm in Manhattan, in Chelsea, Rich.
Is that your place? Are you at your own place?
Yeah, I'm at my own place.
By yourself?
My buddy is sitting on the couch across from me. I've been slowly integrating with friends who've been quarantined as well. I had coronavirus, so I don't give a shit anymore.
But
Yeah.
I was talking to my cousin today that lives in my building, and her son, and it's not confirmed.
Yeah.
But they both had it. No idea how or when, how it got, because she was very, very careful. She's actually a doctor.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. And in a week or so, she's going to have the antibody test to see if when she had it, if she has the antibody now. But she had a very mild case, thankfully.
Yeah, I know how I got it, and I got the antibodies test.
How bad was your case, Justin?
My case was horrendous. Hey, John, my case was horrendous, but I was directly eating Asian bats, so I know exactly where I got it from. But I was saying I was eating Chinese bats, but it was pretty bad. Not fun.
Did you lose your sense of smell and taste?
Yeah.
What my cousin said, that she did not lose a taste and smell, but everything tasted different.
Tastes like metal. It tasted like metal and plastic.
Yeah, it had a different taste, she said.
They must be eating at my house. How long? Like, did you every other day? I feel I have this, but my only thing is because I get short of breath, right?
Right.
But I work out every day. I just finished lifting right now. It's just that I take my temperature. I have on my desk three different thermometers. I take my temperature. In case I don't trust one, I'll use another one. I take my temperature all day, like
Rich,
5
you should
times.
do one in your butt.
I have something else there now. But what?
You need to swap out one. You need to swap up one of those thermometers for a bottle of Klonopin. Your anxiety's going through the roof, homeboy.
I think that's what my breathing's heavy from, is from anxiety.
Yeah, I know. I know
Hey,
you.
Richard, I beat you.
Oh, yeah, look at
My
Shit.
goodness. Wow.
He's got 5
serious?
thermometers.
Yeah. All right, hold on.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Anybody else?
Estee, do you take your temperature a couple times a day? You do it a
No,
couple-
only if I feel like today was really, really cold and I was running around, took the dog out and whatever. And then I felt like a little funny, then I'll take my temperature. But then my son takes it and my grandson, you're just trying to keep it all. But no, Not every day.
No, but don't they have those thermometers now that are like electronic that you can just kind of put up towards your head?
Against you,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, don't they have? Why don't you guys have those? Wouldn't that be easier?
What's that?
Listen, it's so easy. Why?
Yeah.
Why? My God.
Mine are in the dishwasher.
Mine,
So
Mine-
Justin, did you go to a doctor, to a hospital? What did you do?
It was basically just like any flu, but because it's viral, they did like I was talking to my doctor the same way we're talking, and they just do it basically on your symptoms. And they're like, listen, there's nothing you can do for this anyway. So then when you go get the test after, it lets you know if you had it and then if you have antibodies for it. So, but it was a shitty flu. It was just a shitty flu. It was like any other flu, but it just lasted longer. You
see,
know?
my
and
wife,
you have the antibodies now?
I do. I'm selling
You
blood
do?
samples out my window at 7 o'clock while everyone applauds.
my wife went last night because I said
Nothing.
I don't worry, you're used to it.
Nothing.
My wife, because I said sometimes last night my wife said, "Well, take 10 deep breaths and blow them out," and I did it, and I almost passed out because I kept breathing in and holding my breath. I don't think you need to take 10 deep breaths, and I don't know the test, but you know what? If we don't have it now, my whole family, we're not. I don't think we'll ever get it, or I think we could have had it and it passed. Or it passed.
This is when it gets dangerous, when you
Yeah.
become overconfident and not as careful anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we're careful. We're careful.
Pastor's here.
I know.
Yes.
You know,
Oh,
Hi,
I
everybody.
don't know.
Hi. You guys.
We're talking to Justin. He had the corona, so we're asking him
Oh.
how he went
Yeah.
through it.
Go ahead.
well,
No, what's up, man?
What's up, Pastor? I didn't mean, go ahead, Justin. I didn't mean to interrupt.
no, you weren't. I was just answering questions, but I wasn't talking at the moment. Go ahead.
I
But
saw
I'll
you on TV making out with Zoe Kravitz. Is that how you got it?
Yeah, that's exactly how I got it. I wasn't going to tell anybody that because it's in my SAG contract, but yeah.
I don't know the show, but my wife watches it, and she says, "That's Justin. He's making out with Zoe Kravitz. He's making out with Zoe Kravitz." What was that
is
like?
that, is that Lenny Kravitz's daughter?
Yes.
She's super
Whoa.
hot.
She's cute. Yeah.
Oh, she's
And
not
She's married.
What was the show? Fear Factor?
No, it was High Fidelity. It was like a remake of the High Fidelity movie, but she plays a John Cusack character, and I played one of her exes.
was that a one-time role or is it a recurring role?
I mean, it's only the first season, so it was a few episodes, but who knows where it's going to go? I mean, who knows where it's going to go now? Absolutely. I mean, I thought they got picked up for a second season, but who knows?
But
with
you didn't
anything
get
now.
killed off or anything. You didn't,
They don't really murder people on that show, but yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I don't want to. And I just saw Rich Voss in the Pete Davidson movie in the pizzeria scene.
Wait, how did you see it? You saw the whole movie?
Actually, I actually had to stop in the last 20 minutes, but I got a screener.
Oh, okay.
Don't spoil it, but do we have a good scene? I don't care about the rest of the movie.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No, I
Oh,
didn't-
I thought Judd told me not to talk to you about it.
no, he didn't.
Yeah, it was a good scene, really good scene.
Oh, okay.
You and Bonnie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
Do you think I'll be nominated for anything?
I think that
Best
the
Pete
movie-
Davidson movie so far. That's what I think it's going to win.
Who?
No, the movie's really good. The movie is really
Excellent. Excellent.
Don't
I
spoil
haven't
it.
seen John Fisch in a while.
I'm back, baby. How you doing, boss?
Good. What's
John,
going on?
are you like a baby daddy to be? What's going on with you? Last I feel like you got married and moved in with a woman and are having a baby all in like 2 months.
Mostly, yeah. We're engaged, expecting coming in July, and yeah, we moved in together.
Wait, you have a girlfriend?
Are you gonna get married before the birth? Are you gonna make a legitimate child out of this, or is that?
Probably because I heard you can do some Zoom weddings, but it's more for that. Yeah, I mean, we were planning on setting.
Yo, you save a lot of money right now doing that, bro.
No, but you don't get the gifts. You don't get the
Oh,
gifts.
that's right.
You got
Yeah, you do.
Yes,
You
they
you
can
create
Venmo
the
you.
registry.
They can Venmo,
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, you can
And
PayPal
we
me
just
them
send
gifts.
it to you.
Yeah,
Go fund me.
I'm
Yeah,
known. I'm known for giving $5.
So Matt Ruby, what's the far left wing ultra woke take on the coronavirus?
Yeah, I don't know. I like the idea that I'm far left. I don't think that there is, other than it's funny to me that we've taken a virus and made it political like that. Now it's like I just thought everyone. It's like that whole thing. Like if the aliens attacked, that we would all like unite and come together. I think that's bullshit. Like obviously, no matter what, we're on separate teams now.
Yo, Noam, you got to admit though that you have got to be really disappointed in your man, because everybody else around the world's popularity went up at least 20 points. His is down 4.
Yeah, well, that's his fault. I mean, yeah, I'm not. I am disappointed in him for that action. I'm disappointed in him for not managing what should have been easy, which is to bring the country together.
Yes.
During this virus.
Are you talking about Colin?
Low right now. They
I
asked
am not
to come back to the Borgata.
I am not. I am not disappointed in terms of lives lost. I'm much more disappointed with the governor of New York.
Yeah, me too.
But including this nursing home thing where California didn't, New Jersey didn't. Cuomo insisted that nursing homes couldn't turn away anybody with COVID, and 1/3 of the deaths now have been in nursing homes, including a close friend of mine's father died in a nursing home. He did that. He didn't close the city down in time. He's not insisting that people wear masks, even though the data is overwhelming now.
So Noam, is this the prequel to where you guys are headed? Let's talk about Cuomo.
I'm saying what I think. I can compare him disfavorably to a lot of far left wing Democratic leaders.
No. I'm saying is this what you guys are going to do down the stretch? Just say, let's not talk about Trump. Let's talk about Cuomo going into the election.
I'm telling you that as a New Yorker who wished that the city had been shut down sooner, who thinks that nursing homes shouldn't have to accept people with COVID, and who thinks
they didn't accept Voss.
And who thinks that everybody should be wearing a mask. Those key decisions are not within the president's. They're not on the president's desk. They're on the governor's desk. So that's just call it what you want.
It's good to know that that's where you guys are headed. That makes me feel really good.
I mean, you can say what you want, or you can answer where I'm wrong. I mean, look.
I'm just saying, if you think that's going to play in the suburbs of Dallas going into a presidential election,
I'm not talking politics. I'm really not. I'm saying a friend of mine's father died in New York in a New York nursing home, and I'm like, why was that? So this was in Vanity Fair today. 80% of Americans, if 80% of Americans wore masks, COVID-19 infections would plummet, new study says. And by the way, if you do that retroactively, if everybody had been wearing a mask on March 1st, we wouldn't even be in this situation. Japan has never even shut down and everybody wear masks. So the question is, now that we know this, why don't they treat wearing masks at least as seriously as they treat pissing on the street? Cuomo's like, you should wear a mask, but only if you're closer than 6 feet, and we're not going to give everybody a fine. We're gonna have police out there with tape measures. You guys need to. Oh, sorry, officer. You separate. As soon as the officer walks away, you get right back together. You got to give everybody $1,000 fine and tell everybody wear a fucking mask.
It's hard to do that when your president and vice president aren't wearing a mask.
No, it's not hard to do that because other states,
every other state is doing it. California,
other states have done it. Come on now.
Yeah,
I'm not the one who's psyched out by Trump. You guys are. What are you making fucking excuses? Everything is Trump. Has Cuomo gone on TV and said, I would like to punish everybody for not wearing a mask, but I can't do it because Trump didn't wear one. Really? That's what it's come down to? If only Trump would wear a mask, I can do it.
No, can I just say something?
No.
Yes, everything is Trump, and that's why you're upset. You know that this buffoon talked us right into a shooting gallery. He had this information in January. He sat on it. We have him on tape 1,000 times saying that this shit was going to go away in April, and we lost more people than we lost in the goddamn Vietnam War in April.
Yeah, he did say that.
So let's not go down this Cuomo route, because that's not going to save you, brother.
You have to keep Cuomo responsible.
So John, let me ask you a question. When Ohio shut down when they had 15 cases, and the mayor of New York was still encouraging people to go out and have a good time. When the mayor of San Francisco, a far left-wing liberal, was tweeting, everybody stay home as much as you can. Get ready for schools to be closing. When our local leaders were saying, we're not closing the schools, don't worry about it.
Right.
You really think that that's Trump?
Yes, because let me say this.
Okay, well, that's just crazy.
Wait. Let me say this. If anybody thinks that those goddamn local mayors had the same information at their disposal as Donald Trump, who has all of the intel, not only of America.
Not intel. There's no confidential intel here.
There was confidential intel that China wasn't giving him all of the information, and they probably needed to be ready for something.
On March 1st.
We're not talking about March. I'm
talking about March 1st. On March 1st. On March 1st, when the other states were shutting down with 10, 15.
You don't want to talk about January? You don't want to talk about any of that information that Trump got in January.
I'm going to concede it all to you. That's what I'm talking. I'm going to grant you that Trump, everything you said about Trump. I'm saying now, but nobody's dead yet. And now March 1st, San Francisco's taking it seriously. Ohio's taking it seriously. Many other states are taking it seriously that have barely any cases. New York has over 300 cases. Does nothing. Not only does nothing, encourages people to go out.
I'll grant you that they were late to the party. And we were 7 days behind Seattle.
No, we were not 7 days behind Seattle because you don't start on the same date.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
We had 300 cases. We were well into our curve.
When you have 50 governors or 100 mayors and everybody's spouting this or that, you need one person to take control over everything. That's what you need, is one person to lay down the law.
The way the United States works is that the governor is responsible for New York. The president has responsibility, the governor has a responsibility, as does the mayor. And both Cuomo and de Blasio, when it comes to New York City, drop the ball.
Okay, but actually,
it's really just the governor. It's really just the governor.
Nancy Pelosi was walking around Chinatown, inviting everybody.
That's nothing. It really is the governor, not the mayor. The mayor's an idiot, but the buck stops with the governor.
I will grant you this. Both of them were late, though, because I know for a fact that the day before the club closed, so I was hosting Saturday, I watched de Blasio on television say that he wasn't going to close the schools, that he didn't want to shut down the state. I know that for a fact, so I will grant you that. New York was late, but that is not in any way.
So let's look at the New York Times. I will bring it up here for everybody to see. I wish you could adjust this box before you go to the share. So this is the New York Times.
Adjusted over on the right, Noam, I think. Yeah.
Dr. Frieden said, this is about New York, if the state and city had adopted widespread social distancing measures a week or two early, including closing school, stores, and restaurants, and the estimated death toll from the outbreak might have been reduced 50 to 80%.
Wow.
And that's that. Now you take that 50 to 80%, let's call it 50%, and then you add in the number of people who didn't have to die in old age homes.
John, I'm on Noam's side now.
Now you want to tell me, and none of this is defense of Trump but you would think that in a normal world there would be at least as much outrage with tens of thousands of people dying in old age homes due to a dumb decision as there would be the outrage at Trump's ridiculous dumb remarks about bleach. But no, the bleach things probably gets 100 times more. People don't even realize this about the old age homes. There's no tough questions at Cuomo. There's no headlines about it. If you look for it, the Times did report it. Bleach. He said bleach.
No. I think that's a good article. But to your point, to the point that you just made, Noam, so you just put that article up. So imagine if this buffoon and his buffoonish administration had done something back in February.
What should he have done back in February?
It's not in his hand. It's in
what
the
should he have done back in February? That's the next question.
You don't.
Don't roll your eyes. Just answer me. You can say he should have done this. Tell me.
Back in February, he should have took the advice of what Fauci and them were saying about thinking about shutting things down.
No, Fauci didn't say that.
Fauci did say that by the end of February.
If I prove to you that he didn't say it, will you apologize to me?
He says it the last week of February, the first week of March. that we need to start considering shutting down at least schools and maybe moving to.
Yes, but that's for the that's advice. Trump doesn't have that authority. That has to go to the
That's
governor.
right.
No,
Right.
but I'm
Don't
saying,
you remember? Don't you remember, John, the big fuss that Cuomo threw that the president cannot tell me what to do. I am in charge of New York. New York does what I say.
yeah,
That's not a presidential call. I wish it were.
right.
I wish
but,
it
but-
were.
but what I'm saying, what
I
I'm
throw
saying
out there that
is,
like it's possible Cuomo and Trump are both incompetent assholes. You don't have to think
Trump, Trump is
I
Trump. Trump is an
understand.
incompetent asshole. Listen, it looked like we were going to run out of ventilators. If we had, that would have been squarely on Trump, squarely, because there is something that Trump is to blame for. We masks. Not only did we run out of masks, but the federal government actually turned down some offers by some companies that were going to offer to make masks. There are things that.
How about having the states bid against each other like it's an eBay auction for ventilators is absurd. That's why the federal government exists.
and not using the defense and not using the act to get. I mean, he could have stopped and got private industry by now to flood the market with tests.
Listen,
we could all know if we had it right now.
Listen, yes, I agree. But if you would make a list without attaching any name to it of all these things that weren't done properly, and then you put in the next column the number of deaths that they could have saved, the huge number of deaths would not be those things. Having people bid on the ventilators didn't cost a single life in the end. It was terrible. It's dumb as can be. But it didn't cost a single life. But the mistakes that Cuomo made have cost thousands of lives. Thousands.
Well, for New York, you also have New York. You have.
I'm wrong. Prove me wrong.
I think the other thing to consider, though, is in New York, you have the population density of everyone living on each other in a way that doesn't happen.
All the more reason he should have shut down sooner.
And then you also have Europe, and you have all the European visitors, which you probably saw that New York Times article. Like all the Europeans are the ones who brought it to New York. So
that's why in a way
that like Tulsa doesn't.
Dude, you're not helping Cuomo there. You're not helping Cuomo.
I'm not saying I'm helping Cuomo. I'm not on Team Cuomo. I'm just like
you're helping me.
No, here's a more interesting question, I think.
Yeah.
Like when I'm talking, if I'll be the left versus right or whatever, like my question is like, it seems like there's one team that's like believes in like science and epidemiology and public health experts, and another team that just believes in like politicians and pundits. And I feel like, don't you feel like the right wing
and one team
ignoring science and data and like logical thinking in favor of
one team that was trying to keep the stock market from wavering so that they could get reelected.
Okay, just this is Politico. Cuomo under fire for response to COVID-19 in nursing homes. Everything I'm saying is absolutely true.
I'm not talking about Cuomo.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I just want to make it clear to me. Listen, because the New Jersey had a different rule, California had a different rule. Cuomo insisted. He's dug in. No, we're not turning them away.
Going back to Rich Boss's point, that's why you need one
that's always a
person
mistake.
at the top of the government to say, you know what, we need to shut all of this down. And in the meantime, I'm going to get you masks, I'm going to get you tests, and I'm going to get us out of this.
Wait, no. But here's the thing, though.
No.
You said the governor. People individually have to take responsibility. No one sits and goes, I'm going to do what the governor says. You, in your head, you got to go, hey, I see people dying in other countries. I hear about this. You got to take responsibility for yourself. If we're being attacked and the governor says, hey, you could go outside, you're smart enough to go, I'm not going outside.
Rich.
But you know what, Rich?
What?
Rich, if you get 12 intelligence briefings in your office in the morning saying we're about to be attacked, and then you go out in front of thousands of people and say it's a media hoax. Don't worry about what's coming.
Yeah.
It'll be out of here in a minute. You have done us all a great.
He didn't say it. He didn't say. He said that the attacks on him were hoax.
John,
that's what I mean.
No matter what is going to be shown to you, you are hell bent on putting a blame on the one individual. You're refusing to listen to facts about Cuomo and de Blasio and Pelosi and all.
I just said that
you twist it around just so you can blame.
No, I also said I believe that Cuomo and de Blasio were very late to the party. But all I'm saying is they weren't getting.
You know what? Before they closed the schools, Noam was on the phone calling, demanding to close the schools before anybody said anything. If
So
Noam is that smart, how
So
come
you-
Cuomo couldn't think of it?
So you're saying Noam should run for governor?
Absolutely.
Listen,
I mean,
you know what?
Noam's got me
I-
completely won
When
over with everything he said
that,
so far.
I thought he was crazy.
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad.
when Rich said, hold on, John. When Rich said that you take people, you take matters in your own hand, I did. I took my kids out of school 2 weeks
Yeah.
early.
Did you really?
Well, but see, you're
Yeah.
smarter. So you're smarter than a lot of. But I'm not going to sit and when they open up golf courses in New York, I could have went and played, but I didn't go and play because I didn't think it was the right time to go out.
Good for you.
Okay, and they open them, so you have to make your own decisions in life.
Rich, when they opened up golf courses, I was gonna go. I'm not a member.
Well, no, they were.
Oh.
But you don't think people.
It's a Jewish club.
First of all,
Goddamn Trump doesn't let
No-
play.
no
Trump
blacks
doesn't play
allowed.
golf.
that's not true. First of all, you don't think people need caddies. That's where you're wrong. Second of all, these courses are public courses. They're public.
Rich doesn't play golf on the
racism
private
saved
course.
Racism
Oh,
saved
John.
my black ass
I've
life.
opened for him on the
So,
road.
John, on January 21st, Fauci said he has the intelligence you're talking about. This is not a major threat to the people of the United States, and this is not something the citizens of the United States should be worried about right now. That's what he said. That's what Fauci said. So,
I'll tell you-
I mean, what is Trump supposed to say? I don't
That's
care what
not-
that Italian dude says.
No, that's not what I.
I feel like you wanted to say another word, but
I did. I want to say, wow. I don't care what that was. I'm trying to talk like Trump.
What I'm worried about.
February, beginning of March.
No. By the beginning of March, we all knew. By the beginning of
No.
March, we had John. By the beginning of March, Ohio had shut down. Obviously, we knew.
That's why I'm saying Fauci was saying that, but I'm just saying then why wasn't it coming from the White House to shut it down?
He's
No.
wait,
working
what-
for the
No,
White
actually, that's not true. It was when before we shut down in the Comedy Cellar, the CDC, not Trump, the CDC was not recommending that we close down. The CDC is not a political organization.
No.
The CDC was recommending gatherings of 50 or more should be canceled. And New York was still recommending gatherings of 500 or more should be canceled. And I wrote an email to my friend saying, what the fuck are they canceling 500 or more for when there's only like 5,000 people meeting in groups of 500 or more, and there's a few million people meeting in groups of 50 or more, and the CDC is already at 50. Why is Cuomo still at 500? I can show you the emails. I was writing this in real time.
Hey,
I got a
brother,
real
yo,
important question, real quick. Who's responsible for the disappearance of John Fisch? That's what I want to know. Who's responsible for
boss,
that?
boss.
Cuomo.
Let me tell you, boss. Donald Trump.
No, the CDC.
Oh, yeah, you're right, John. Gee whiz, I was late to the party.
But
You're
okay,
right.
but John, let's take it at 9 o'clock on May 9th. The headline is now 80%. If 80% of people wore masks, we could bring this down by 88% or something.
Right.
Now, we don't have a law that says we have to wear masks.
Right.
And it's ridiculous that we don't have that law now.
In Jersey.
Now, who is to blame, Trump or Cuomo?
Well, here's what I
Just answer the question, Trump or Cuomo.
No. Well, here's what I would say about that, though. No.
If you're already, if you don't need a long explanation here, Trump or Cuomo.
No. The reason I'm saying this is because I think that now it's beyond Trump and Cuomo, because I now believe that the horse is out of the barn. So I think that people are scared to go out. It doesn't matter at this point.
Have you been outside? People are not. What do you mean it doesn't matter?
I think people are scared to go back to what they were normally doing.
Okay.
it was beautiful out yesterday. It was beautiful 2 days ago in the city, and in the street it was busy. It was packed.
Okay, bro.
I don't think
Were
people.
they
I don't think
wearing
in the
masks?
city. That,
It
What?
said, John, I'll read you the headline again. The new study says if 80% of Americans would wear masks, infections would plummet. Now,
Okay.
that is squarely on the governor to read
Yeah,
that and
but-
say, no
but-
more Mr. Nice Guy. Everybody's got to wear a mask. And if there is some weird mass psychology going on here where
So-
people want to give this guy credit even when it's right in front of our face, he's not doing what he needs to do. We wanted. I said, joke. I said, we're treating him like he's Captain Kirk. He's fucking William Shatner. He's a buffoon. He's an empty suit.
Well, no. What I'm saying to you is, do you think that if people got that information today, that they would go to a movie tomorrow?
They can go to the movie. They need to wear a mask.
I'm asking you, do you think that consumer confidence, if they read the article that you just cited, that would make people feel like, hey, I'd like to go to the Garden and watch the Knicks?
I'm not saying you should open the Garden. I'm saying that everybody should be wearing a mask.
And who wants to go see the Knicks?
Everybody should be wearing a mask. There's no excuse for it anymore. It's obvious. And the thing about a mask is, it's nothing. Like, it's inconvenient. Even if it doesn't work, so what? We're gonna lock you in your homes. We're gonna destroy the economy, but we won't go too far and make you wear a mask. Don't worry about it.
What percentages of New Yorkers are not wearing masks?
Big.
Is that quantifiable?
Big.
Bigger than it should be.
What?
A couple of days ago, when it was really beautiful and everybody went to the park or whatever, I saw some masks, but majority did not.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's compare two. This is the last thing I'll do. Compare two charts here. How do I do this? Okay. So this is, which one should I do first? This is okay. This is the United States. We've had a shutdown and all that. We have here, out of per million people, 3,878 cases per million, and 233 cases per million people in the United States. Now we'll go to Japan, which has not even shut down, but everyone is wearing a mask. They have 4 deaths per million. 4 deaths. Let me remind you what America is again. We are at 233 deaths per million. Japan is at 4 deaths per million, and they are. And John, and they're not staying home.
Yeah, no, but you know what? You're conflating.
I'm not conflating anything.
Wait, let me finish. You're conflating wearing masks and wearing masks inside of a country where the head of the government shut it down early. Is
the governor wearing masks?
You're showing a chart that would be comparable to if Donald Trump had listened to his intelligence and shut it down.
Did you hear what I said? They never shut John. They never shut down Japan. Japan has never been shut down. They did this just with masks.
The only place that hasn't been shut down is Sweden.
I'm telling you, Japan has had voluntary measures. Japan has not, but they have not been shut down. The
only place that didn't shut down is Sweden.
John, you know what, John? Let's argue about Jesus Christ rising from the grave, because we're not talking about facts here. I'm arguing. I'm showing you scientific study after scientific study and fact.
You're showing me the scientific study of a country that took the advice of their intelligence and shut it down early. And now they're wearing masks.
Never shut down. They're not shut down now.
Sweden is not shut down.
But
they may not need to have shut down.
Sweden.
They may not need to have stayed shut down.
John,
let's only talk about countries on the risk board. First of all, Japan, they've been wearing masks for the last 10 years. They wear them all the time anyhow. They do. In Japan, China, they're wearing masks on a daily basis.
Right. You know where else they don't have problems, Noam? Saudi Arabia. Because they're always wearing masks.
I got it.
They never got the goddamn corona because they were covered up.
Japan opts for emergency, but no lockdown, keeping Sakai in the economy. The state of emergency, as people to go outside, refrain going outside needlessly, but no lockdown in the city. The economic activity will be maintained as much as possible. Blah blah blah. This is not. They didn't shut down lockdown early. He says, listen, stay inside when it's not necessary. We're not gonna close stores. We're not gonna close restaurants. We're not gonna close movies. We're all gonna wear a mask. We're gonna have 1/30th the number of deaths that America has.
I mean, I do believe that everyone.
And by the way, Japan is pretty fucking dense. Tokyo is pretty fucking dense.
I fully agree that everyone should absolutely have to wear a mask.
You agree the governor should order it?
But I agree. I totally agree.
And if he doesn't do it, what's your beef on it? What's your complaint about him? Trump?
Oh no, my complaint with him would be that's terrible management of the city. And I also think that he was late. I will give you that I think that he got to the party late. But with that being said, I mean, now there's 35 million people out of work. Like, we've got way bigger problems.
We can all come back to if everybody would wear a mask. Did you see the lady Cuomo, to his credit, gave a stat 2 days ago? Hospital workers wearing masks have lower rates of coronavirus than people who don't work in hospitals.
You know what? When I come back to do comedy, I'm going to wear a mask and I'm going to be a ventriloquist. And I'm going to be, and no one will know if my mouth is moving or not. I'm going to be the best masked ventriloquist out there.
With that lisp, you don't think they're going to know it's you talking, Rich? Please.
Good point. But they won't see my lips move. Right now, what's it going to take for you to open the Comedy Cellar? Like, say the governor said, okay, we're going to open for business. How would you say half the club? Would you say a quarter? You know, as a business owner, if you were allowed to open next week, how would you do it?
I would require all. Well, I mean, they're going to give us guidelines. Presuming there were no guidelines, I do it however I want.
Yeah,
I would. Maybe I would. To be honest, if the answer is what would the customers want to make them most likely to come, which I think would be everybody would have to wear a mask, and we couldn't book Rich Voss. No, and we'd have to.
Don't make promises.
Everybody would wear a mask, and we'd probably seat, every other chair or something, or every other table. But not every other chair, because people coming together don't need to be separated from each other. Maybe every other table. I don't know.
The comics have to wear a mask too?
What's that?
Would the comics have to wear a mask too? It's a serious question, because you have to think the microphone.
Yeah, it's a serious question. I don't know the answer to that. Depends what the people. If the comics, yeah, I think they would. I think the comics have to wear a mask too.
Well, the comics can easily be 6 feet away from the audience. Can back up.
Bring their own microphone.
Yeah.
Well, they already were bringing.
But I don't know that you would need a mask, because you still have distance between you and the crowd, and they're wearing masks, right?
Yeah.
There's like, if they're laughing, and it's like, I mean, that's an extreme outburst that they're having. There's going to be in a small room.
I think we have to grow up here. I think that we need to all wear masks, including the comedians. We will get used to it. They get used to it in Asia. And the only sensible way to come back, if I were governor, is I would make every single person wear a mask, indoor and outdoor, in every situation. And then I would restart the economy. And then I would take 2-3 weeks and I would see how that's working. And if it seems to be working okay, I would slowly reduce the measures. Now, when you're outside, you don't have to wear. Now, whatever it is, little by little, trial and error, until we figured out what works and what doesn't work. Because the one thing I think we can all agree on is that the experts no longer have the right to our respect. They have not gotten a single fucking thing right. They have not gotten a single thing right. Trial and error is worth more than 20 IQ points. We start from the maximum situation, which is everybody wears a mask, and slowly take it down from there until we learn for sure what's safe and what's not. We can survive performing in masks. And I made a joke that we'll just paint little hands like this over the masks, like we'll silk screen little Asian ladies' hands over the masks.
You're going to get some letters about that.
Yeah. And for 2 months, after that, Jim David still has to wear a mask.
No, I'm saying really, like, what's the big deal of it? We'll get used to it. They get used to it in Asia. We'll get used to it here. It's such a small thing. We're talking about people dying. Like, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. If it could work. I mean, if they're not catching it, if with masks, they're not catching it in hospitals. Now, okay, they may have more extensive something, but still they're dealing with all day, every day COVID patients.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're having a lower rate of infection than people in the general public, that ought to tell us, there is a way to do this without everybody getting sick. That's what we should be doing, because we're gonna go under here. I mean, I'm looking at wiping away 10, 20 years of my life if this doesn't end soon. Think about that.
Yeah, it's that's what I'm saying to you, man, in terms of that the horse has left the barn, that the economy has cratered so bad that, now you have to think of like all hands on deck. So if it's every single person wears a mask, I love the whole notion of you don't think that the testing will help at all? Because I've not heard you talk about that at all.
I don't think testing would be great, but I don't think the high-tech cavalry is going to arrive in time. I think the testings have all the tests in every part of the world have high false positive rates. And the problem is there's this thing called the base rate fallacy, where if you have a high false positive rate, like 5% in a population which only has 10% that has the virus, you get a situation where 1 out of 3 people who test positive, it's false. So
and nothing about not using the Protection Act to get all of that.
I think
that bothers you.
I think that Rosie the Riveter should be replaced with Millie the Mask Maker. They should use the Protection Act to get companies. I never believed that GM could build ventilators, but I'm sure there's plenty of companies that can take some dense fabric and attach elastic on them and put out masks. I think you're right about that.
Well,
you would think the profit motive would be enough to get them to do that.
But I'm not talking about, I know that they can make masks. I'm talking about the Protection Act to get testing.
The Protection Act can't get tested. The testing is, we're already testing more people per capita in our hotspots than any country in the world. And the question
there's no truth to that.
Oh, by the way, the other interesting thing
there's truth to that.
Dr. Birx said it. Trump didn't say it.
There's zero truth.
Okay, then Dr. Birx is a liar. That means Fauci's a liar.
Let's do this.
Hold on. Let me tell you something.
Let's Google per capita coronavirus testing in the world.
In New York. In our hotspots. They don't need it in Montana. Listen, Japan tests almost nobody. Japan is almost on top of all that stuff about Japan. I'll bring up I have it here. I have to find it. Take me a second.
So you're just fine with us flying blind, not knowing who's got what then? Again.
No, I would love everybody to get tested. I'm saying that is.
You think the masks are the answer?
Testing will not stop the spread.
And every scientist has said you need mass testing. You just throwing that out the window.
No, I'm not throwing it out the window. I'm saying that the tests don't exist yet in any country. There's a lot of false positives. And the thing is, people are asymptomatic for a long period. They're spreading it before they even realize they have it.
Yeah.
That's why you need testing.
But the tests are highly inaccurate. What he's saying is they don't have the accurate tests yet. I mean, that's what I think.
And you can spread it before the test shows it up.
Protection Act to straighten that out. I think that would be a great use of the Protection Act to unleash our scientists on getting great tests so we know exactly who has it when we walk into a goddamn place. And
how about instead of
unleash the scientists?
Testing, how about a vaccine? Forget all the energy on this. Get a vaccine. You don't need testing.
Absolutely. Well, it's like Estee said earlier, when you walk into a club, when things open, they should be able to shoot your forehead and see if you have a temperature.
Okay, I'll show. I found it. This is on the testing thing. Again, comparing it not to theory, but to actually what's actually happened in other countries in the world. This is Japan. If you can see it, let me make it so it zooms in better. Hold on. Okay, that should be pretty good. This orange line here, can you see my mouse?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's Japan's testing rate. This is through March 19th. It's America's way higher now. This is as of March 19th. America, as of March 19th, was right next to Japan right here. South Korea was here. Now America trust me on this, America is now like up here. Japan is still down there. And yet Japan is not having a spread of the virus.
What are they doing different?
They have masks. My wife is here.
I'm so upset about this COVID.
Thank you for watching me on High Fidelity.
Oh my God, I loved you on it.
Back to the show.
I wish I could find it. I will go. I will find. I'll stop this and I'll show you the testing as of today. So John can see what America's testing is today. Go ahead, argue amongst yourself. Go ahead.
Yes, please Google per capita testing by country.
I'm going to show you it right now.
By country.
Yeah. I got it here. Okay.
We are nowhere near the top. Nowhere near the top.
No, New York, John. I don't know if you're purposely doing it or not, but I'm telling you that our hot spots, New York and whatever the other hot spots are testing more per capita. We're not testing people per capita in Montana because that's not the best use of the tests. But Dr. Birx, not Trump. I heard the Dr. Birx say, okay, so you have to trust me. I know it may be too faded. Down here, now this is through May 8th. Down where my mouse is right here, that's Japan per capita. This is the United States.
We're sixth.
This is the United States.
6th. 6th.
Yeah, that's John. Do you understand?
7th. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. First, second. Wait, put it back up.
I'm not putting it back up.
Dude,
John.
now I'm Noam 2020 100%. That's my guy.
I'm gonna find you the New York
Wait,
per capita.
leave that there, no. We're
Yeah.
1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, we're 8th.
No. This is not.
It's
First
right
of all,
there.
hold on. This is not every country, so we could be way more than 8th. This is just there's a few. Belgium, United Kingdom, Israel. This is United Kingdom. As people tested and people test perform. There's 2 different United Kingdoms here for some reason. People tested and inconsistent units. I don't know what that means. We're right near. We're above Switzerland, above Finland, and above South Korea. So whatever we are, even not per capita New York, we are ahead of Belgium, Finland, and South Korea. So
how does that?
We have 300 million people.
Number 1.
What?
We're not, like I said, we're not.
No,
even
we're not
close.
number 1, but we're not. But we're above South Korea.
Not even close. Now you want to shift the
John,
goalpost to South Korea?
John, we're way ahead of some countries that have done less.
That's not what you said.
I think everybody heard what I said, and I don't think it's going to be. And I don't think it's going to back up what you're trying to pretend.
I heard a lot of it. It's just hard for me to comprehend it. And I'm so sick of you plugging Japan throughout this podcast. I think you're getting a kickback from Japan. I think Japan is coming in partners with you guys in Vegas. That's what I think. Japan, this, Japan. Who gives a shit?
This podcast sponsored by Japan.
I know.
You drive a Toyota, Noam?
Yeah.
No.
Huh?
Do I drive a Toyota?
No, let's.
Yeah, and how did he get center
Yes,
square?
I'm trading in my Lexus, but I'm going to find it for John. It doesn't matter what. It does, I can hit John with any facts I want. He's like he's trying to pin that Mercury. He's going to switch to something else. But
Yo, as soon as I ask you to put the facts up, you take them down because
I'm
they
putting
don't.
them. Okay, here we go. New York. Okay, this is it, and this will back up not what you said I said, but what everybody heard me say. God damn it. Cuomo, April 25th, Cuomo was about New York is conducting more tests per capita than anywhere else in the world at roughly 20,000 antibody diagnostic tests each day. Isn't that exactly almost verbatim what I said?
No, you did not. You
said, come on.
You said the United States is, and I said, no, our country is 5th.
He said hotspots. He said hotspots, John.
Oh my God. What does it matter?
It doesn't matter. No.
Let me say this. Let me say this. And hear me out.
No.
What does it matter if the only place that we're testing the most, more than anywhere, is New York City, when Atlanta's hot, Chicago's hot, Detroit's hot.
All our hot spots. Dr. Burks probably said she mentioned New York and a few other places. I don't recall what they were. Sorry about that. But I think Atlanta might have been one of them. We're testing. In other words, but the point is that, John, I'm with you on testing. We're testing a lot, and I want them. I wish I could go to the CVS and get a test every day.
You call 2% of the population a lot? That makes you feel comfortable to go out in public? 2% of the population?
Where'd you get 2% of the population?
That's what we've tested. That's a fact. You can Google the percentage of the population that's been tested. It's around 2.5.
In New York?
In the country.
Yeah, but John, there's parts of the country where they have cases in the dozens. They don't need. Listen, we know by the number of people who show at this point, they're already pretty good at probably modeling how many cases there are by how many people show up at the hospital. There's a relationship. If we know from experience, like you can take the New York data, which is pretty good, and extrapolate based on the percentage of the population that's showing up in the hospital, we can tell you how many people have. And we know by that the places where there's very few cases. And when you have a finite number of tests, you put those tests in the areas where they can do the most good. So to give Montana the same per capita share of tests when we know that Montana has 1/100th the number of cases is not a good use of those tests.
Right. Well, you know what? Let me say this. You know what else is not a good use of tests? Waiting until people show up at the damn emergency room. The purpose of tests is to find out where.
That's what we're doing in New York. That's what
you can walk into City MD. You can just walk into City MD and get a test. You can go get an
That's
antibodies test, and if you
recent.
think you have
That's
symptoms of
recent.
COVID, they'll
But-
just give you a
right.
COVID test.
Now, and we were
That's
behind it,
recent.
but the point is that if you look at the COVID death rates in all through Europe, many of the countries that had good testing early on, some of them are doing worse than America. There's not clear evidence that this testing actually translates into significant lives saved. However, if you look at the countries that wear masks,
Japan.
the data, and Korea, the data is stunning. The data
Yo.
is fucking stunning.
Yo, I've been watching.
Makes sense.
I watch politics 3-4 hours a day, and
Not enough.
wait. Let me say this, and to hear you arguing that masks are the key when for 2 months straight we're just watching TV. I've not heard one single scientist say, "Oh, we need masks instead of tests."
You're
Never
right.
once have I heard that until you just said it.
Preach, John, because that's why I'm so fucking frustrated. There were some people
Lo
saying
and behold, we find out on the Cellar podcast that we need masks, not tests.
well, no, today it's
Thank
in
you.
Vanity. Today it's
Thank
in
you,
Vanity
Noam.
Fair. Well, I'll show you.
I want to say something.
I'll show you something else,
I
John.
want to say something.
Is that Juanita?
Yeah, I got.
What?
Aiden, hello.
Hi, Juanita.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hi,
What,
Juanita.
hi, Robert. What difference does it make if everyone gets tested if people are not being responsible?
Yeah, that's what I said before.
The testing means nothing right now
Exactly.
because we don't have the test. Everyone should behave as if they have it and be responsible when they go out in public. Even today, I watch my neighbors jog up and down the street without a mask. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to lose weight.
So it makes no difference if you have
Juanita.
the test or not.
Juanita, according
Juanita, I'm trying to lose a little weight. Leave me alone.
According to your logic, that would mean that
John, that's my wife. Careful.
I'm
Hold up,
being-
John. Hold up.
Don't point that finger.
Yes.
Wait,
Uh-oh.
let me
Here comes the
Let him
finger.
talk.
let me finish the
And
sentence.
the head.
Right. According to that logic, what I'm saying is you wouldn't know to remove Trump's valet. You wouldn't
Is
know.
that what you are concerned about, Trump fucking valet?
You think about what you
Come
just
on,
said.
John, enough.
None of that
Stop.
matters. None of
Yeah.
that matters. There is a
His
deadly
valet has
virus being
COVID.
spread.
His valet has COVID.
Let him talk.
Do you want the valet to stay around with COVID, or do you want the test to say he has COVID? You
John,
gotta get him
John.
out of there.
Okay, here, John. Here's your test.
All right.
John,
Hold on,
you can
hold on,
be
here's your
tested
test.
today,
One second, Estee.
negative, and get it tomorrow. Then what? What you gonna do?
John, here's your test.
Estee,
John, John,
Yeah.
here's your test. Italy, Germany, Canada, US. Italy is way worse off than we are. Canada is probably better than we are. Germany is somewhat better. South Korea, we are right smack and dab in the middle of testing, and that's without regard to the fact that our hotspots are getting the most action. And I'm going to show you.
And we're the only purple ones in that graph.
Yeah.
By
Right,
the
but
time you get tested positive, it's too late. You should have
No.
taken those preventative measures before you even got tested so you don't get this goddamn virus. That's
Right,
the
but-
whole point.
right,
So
but
if people
Juanita,
are walking around in public without masks, what is the whole point of getting tested? It's like, oh, I'm gonna risk it until I
Right.
test positive.
right,
That
but
makes no sense.
Juanita, what I'm saying is take, for example, the people this week, right, that tested positive in the White House for the coronavirus. The only reason that they're able to get those people out of there is because of the test, and they know. Otherwise, they would just still be hanging around getting more.
Okay,
people.
John, last thing. Then we got,
John.
one more thing, please.
What if
Juanita.
why wouldn't they wear masks and take the preventative cautions? Why are they not doing that?
Supposedly, they said that a lot of them did.
John, okay, John,
No.
enough. John, listen. Don't talk to my wife that way, goddammit.
No.
Listen. Listen, here's this. I read this study on April 12th.
Oh,
You can see it.
bragger.
Face masks against COVID-19 and evidence review. This was a review. This was a review of the study, and in it has this graph, which which shows this
Oh,
is
Jesus.
Oh my God, this is boring.
I know. It's like doing fucking PowerPoint.
Get credit for this? Do we get full credit?
this should not be boring to any
Justin,
human living
Justin, take your shirt off.
No, Robert, you're the fucking guy throwing spitballs and paper airplanes in the back of the class because he doesn't understand what we're doing.
It's called the class clown. Made a living at it, you asshole.
But anyway, this is the last thing. This paper
Your
shows.
workforce.
His
No.
spitballs have gravy on them.
You got 5 million people in the world here just staring at a camera.
I understand.
All right,
Bobby, what's up, baby?
how foolish does the guy with a mask feel that no one's even recognizing that he's wearing a mask? Nobody cares about your dumb mask, okay?
And,
Stupid.
wait a minute, boss. He's Mexican. That's his side job.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Hey, Bobby.
John, I'll end by just saying, yes, you're right. You heard it on the Comedy Cellar podcast, and you're not hearing it on TV. And sometimes that's the way it goes.
Well, let me ask you this, Noam. When can we get some Comedy Cellar masks, brother?
Yeah. And hold on. Can you show another graph real quick? Jesus Christ, I felt like I went to a PowerPoint meeting.
Yeah, why don't you-
Christ, now I have a fucking day job. Holy shit. And over here on this graph, and don't forget Japan, shut up. The dumb fucking graphs. I took a shower for this bullshit.
The other two.
Rich, we can get some Comedy Cellar masks written in Japanese.
Yeah.
Next time you do a graph, make sure you play the oud when you do it.
The other two Jews without tattoos all over their body understood exactly what I was talking about.
No, who's first
Actually,
of all,
Justin has tattoos also.
Justin has tattoo. And look at this tattoo right here. It says never again.
Yeah.
This one says never again. And know
Never
what that
again what?
means? Will I
But
look
you
at
don't
your
know.
dumb graphs? Never again will I look at your graphs. You fucking, Jesus Christ. You got center square for showing graphs? Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
I've been trying to quit this fucking show because I'm not cut out for this. You guys want to be funny and
You better listen. You better not quit because we need to make fun of you. You do not quit. This is the best part of the show. Is when you whip out your fucking graphs.
Jesus.
Graphs.
I thought Justin's head was gonna explode.
We have a special a welder. We haven't even talked to the welder yet in the bottom corner. Is that Mike? Is that Mushy Mike?
Yeah, it's Mike. He's wearing a mask.
I
This
get it.
whole thing is disturbing. I'm reading about all these children that are sick and dying.
Yeah.
Now. My cousin, who is only 22 or 23, just got admitted into the hospital. Perfectly healthy, has got COVID and is a mess. I mean,
I was just talking to my cousin that lives in my co-op. Her and her son both got the corona.
yeah, and everything that they're saying about it, it just doesn't add up. It affects everybody differently, young and old are getting
It's
it.
all over. It's all over now.
Well, it
Yeah.
damn sure affects Black people different because I done lost 5 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
lost some people too, and it's sad. I have a couple
It's
of
just-
cousins who
it's
have
all
it.
over. Okay,
What?
sorry.
No. No. What are you doing?
He replaced me.
That's Def Jam behind them.
Hey, Voss,
What?
who's the accountant up in the corner with the beard?
He's our mime.
Oh,
It's Matt Ruby.
is he a
Wait a
Canadian
minute.
comic?
Wait a minute.
Hey, can you turn
I'm
this
just
crap
still
off?
reeling from the text.
Oh, he's got
Yes.
Awesome Def Comedy.
Yes. Let's hear it.
No, I'm bailing out.
All right.
It's not.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That guy must be looking at a graph.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Robbie. Be funny, Robert. Go ahead.
Oh, thank God I came in. Jesus, Voss, listen. Noam, you give us need to hear. So don't you quit this podcast. We need you to rile up the other Black comedians and get them all crazy. Listen,
Yeah, we didn't even talk about Georgia. What the hell?
yeah, what happened?
Georgia.
Yo,
Tell
do
me
you
about
notice?
the
Wait a
shooting.
minute, Matt. While you cracking jokes, do you notice that they did open Georgia? They sent them Black people out there as goddamn guinea pigs. All them people in Atlanta, and then let me tell you what was even dirtier than that. Then they go right after they open up the city and release a new Air Jordan.
Oh, That's crazy.
It's a master plan of Trump. I'm telling you.
You're damn right. You're damn right.
Or Jordans now with their stimulus checks. That's what they're saying. This is crazy.
You know niggas can't resist a new Jordan. That was terrible.
Whoa.
My
That was
family's
terrible.
the same thing.
It was the mastermind of Donald Trump. Let's open Georgia and drop a Jordan.
Justin, what do you
I just want to say for anybody who's listening to this in audio, when she hears my wife say, yeah, they sure can't, that my wife is a person of color, okay? Because well, it sounds like when he says, no, they can't resist Georgia, my wife's like, yeah, they sure can't. That's not going to sound very good.
I can co-sign for Juanita.
Yeah, unless you're in black and white, we can't tell.
Why are we in black and white?
I think it looks cool.
Oh, okay. All righty.
It makes the graphs look better.
Are you guys going to talk about Georgia? Are you going to talk about the Reed kid?
Yo.
About what?
What,
You guys
Justin?
don't know
Justin,
shit,
what
white
do you want
people. You don't
Justin,
know what's
what do you
going
want
on
to talk
out
about?
there.
Justin?
I'm good. I'm good just listening right now. What do I've been talking all day on
Damn,
podcasts.
I
I'm
think
enjoying
this is
the
annoying.
hell out of
This is why I
this.
don't sit with you. Can you stop that?
Completely lost it.
All right.
Noam is showing off his acting skills.
Yeah, the show's over. I was watching this on YouTube and I saw Voss, Justin, and Matt just staring aimlessly into the screen. And I wanted to come in and see what the hell was going on. Juanita, you look beautiful. Estee, you look beautiful. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Show's not
Happy
over,
Mother's Day.
goddammit.
Happy Mother's Day.
Can we talk
It's
about
over.
Sean Reed for a minute? I'm so disturbed by it. I just watched the Facebook Live video.
Talk about what?
Sean Reed, the black
Who's
kid who
that?
got shot 2 days ago.
Yeah, no, that's pretty disturbing.
It's so disturbing. I'm so upset by this whole thing.
Wait,
Are you talking about are you talking about the jogger? The guy, the kid
No,
Yeah,
the
jogger?
joggers in Georgia.
yeah.
That happened in February.
Yeah,
2
that was
days
in
ago,
February.
God, am I the
Oh,
news
there's
now?
a new
How did
thing?
this happen? 2 days ago, Sean Reed was being chased down by the police because he was speeding, driving recklessly, and
they
he
shot him.
was afraid. Yeah, he was afraid, and he Facebook lived everything on his phone. He gets out of the car to like run with a mask and his phone. He gets tasered and shot 12 times.
Get a mask?
In his running out of the car with a mask and his cell phone. It's that 21-year-old kid. Come on. And then on top of that, the cops didn't know that his phone was on Facebook Live. They record them making jokes saying, oh, now he can't have an open casket and all that shit. The police.
Oh, shit.
You guys are not up on the news, all right?
No, I'm
tomorrow when you guys get up on
the
it.
news. You know what?
It's so disturbing. It's
You know what the
infuriating.
crazy thing about it is though, which is really sad, you know, because our relationship as black men with cops is totally different from the rest of the world. The sad part is the only reason that, you know, because people are always shocked. Those are the incidents that are caught on camera, because every night that's happening to some black dude that wasn't lucky enough, that wasn't quick enough to get it on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
But some other black dude is getting shot the same way tonight. That happens.
You guys need to all hire
every
film
night.
crews to follow you around.
It's so crazy.
What's that?
You should all hire film crews to follow you around, just as security.
As if we have film crew money. That was some white shit you just said right there.
Listen, if you can afford Jordans, get yourself one of those body cams, all right? I'm done with it. We need to stop this shit.
You want black
know?
people to wear body cams?
That's right.
Right?
Wow.
Relax.
Yeah, you know why? Because they're made in Japan. That's why.
Well, you know, it's like, enough of this. I've had enough of this. It's just
Yeah, he just got lucky that it was recorded. And so did the guy in Georgia. Because think about it. The guy in Georgia, think about how bad this is. The dude that got shot jogging in Georgia, the prosecutor saw that video and still said, man, we good.
The dude's an ex-cop, so they all know each other.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
an ex-detective.
But you got those new Jordans over there. What's the problem, John?
get a body
Not
cam.
Jordan.
I had enough of this.
They got the new Jordans in Georgia.
Hey, Noam and Juanito.
I had a pair of suede Jordans from collector edition from the 90s. My fucking wife threw them out without talking to me.
Oh,
Oh shit.
oh.
And she calls herself a person of color.
Pull up the
I
Nike
never
graph.
wore them. I didn't know they were a collector's item.
Oh my
I threw
God,
them
these
out.
were
I
great
just thought
shorts.
they were Jordans. Everybody would just so I threw them out.
I made Colin Quinn. He had brown corduroy Converse, and I made him take them off, and I threw them on a telephone pole in front of his house.
Now everybody thinks he's a dope dealer.
Yeah.
No, we came back and somebody climbed up and took him down.
Corduroy Jordans?
They were corduroy Converse. They were the worst shoes I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
What color were they?
Brown.
Ugh.
What an asshole.
Actually,
What a
I just
piece
saw a
of shit.
chart of the various colors that Converse come in. You want to see it?
Yes.
Oh no.
That's-
I'm gonna go.
Shucks are kind of fly though, man. I don't
Yeah.
know about Dookie Brown corduroy though.
Corduroy brown chucks.
Yeah, that's a lot.
9:35.
So, what are you guys doing for Mother's Day?
Playing golf.
Your mom?
I'm making breakfast for my wife. Me and Max made a video
Take
we put
notes, babe.
together. We're making breakfast in the morning. Then she's gonna have a spa day. Me and Max are setting up a spa day in the house.
What does that mean?
You
We're
think
gonna-
the breakfast is going to make it to her?
First of all, I am on a diet.
I know you look great.
Bobby, you do look good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin.
You look
Vaughn,
good.
You don't
What
get
kind
to
of-
compliment me.
What's
What
that?
kind of spa are you going to set up? You're going to walk on her back
He's got-
No, I can't do that. I'm not gonna snap her spine.
like a Japanese woman?
I want a spa day.
Yo, Bobby.
You know
Here,
what?
go find those suede Jordans, Juanita. You get a spa day.
I think
Please don't-
asking what you guys could do on Mother's Day in front of Juanita might have been the very dumbest thing I've ever done in my life.
I want a spa day.
Well, I'm making pancakes and bacon and fruit, whole big breakfast in bed. And then me and Max made a card. I got her flowers from Whole Foods, delivered them today. I have them hidden. And then we're
You
making
having a heart attack?
I'm making
Why don't you make her happy and just give her divorce papers?
You know what, Voss?
Like,
Nope. I'd rather go back to talking about the masks.
Yeah. Yo, Bobby. You know what I hate, man, is that you got quiet and listened to that shit. He set you up lovely. yo.
I knew it was coming. I could see his eyebrows and his mouth was opening.
Come on, boss made a card. Show us your card, boss.
No, I didn't make it.
What you
I
got there?
went and bought a card, but see, I was reading all the cards and they were all long and gushy, and I go, that's not me. So I just got her a simple one, always and forever. And then I'll sign it and have my daughter sign it, and I'll slip her a check, and then I'm out.
You're gonna give her money?
No, I'm going to give her a check. It's not going to clear.
What about you, Matt? Is your mom alive?
No, she passed away.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Not to lighten the mood, but yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Well, I guess
usually, I try to be nicer to my sister. She's a mom, so that's how I handle it.
What about you, Justin? You have a mom?
My mom's in Queens. Estee, you know where my mom lives.
I know your mom. I love
We're-
your mom.
I'm gonna. She's so paranoid about this virus that she won't. Like, I have to borrow a friend's car because she won't let me rent a car to come and see her. She doesn't want a car that someone else is in, so I'm gonna like basically go there in like a hazmat suit and stand. 6 feet
But you
away
had the
from her.
virus. You sure you can't spread it to her now?
What? No, because I got no. I'm not gonna tell you. I got the antibodies test, which I don't know if that's accurate, but I'm gonna wear the mask, Noam. I swear to God, you convinced me. I'm gonna
How's
wear
your
the
mom?
mask. No, I know. I'm gonna wear the mask. I'm gonna stand 6 feet away. I'm gonna help her like clean her house a little bit because she gets overwhelmed by it.
But besides the antibody test, did you get tested negative after you were positive?
Yeah. Yeah.
okay,
I went up to the place in the Bronx.
What about you, John?
I can't do shit, man. My mom is in Florida. I was thinking about going down there. I know this is gonna sound fucked up, but the tickets are so cheap. You know what I'm saying? Like normally it's $400 to get into this small airport by my mom right now.
Flying sounds like a nightmare, though.
Yo,
Yeah,
I know. And then I wouldn't be able to see her. I would just have to do like the standing outside the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it be weird to go from traveling on a Greyhound to flying? Come on, I had it.
Rich,
Listen,
Rich.
you got to throw them up against the wall and see what sticks. That's all I know. You know what I'm saying?
Rich, that was a slow pitch. That was a
I didn't get it.
yo, Rich, that was an underhand, motherfucker.
I know. I would never fly right now. I'd be too scared to even get on a plane.
You know the airport. I have friends who flew.
Let me say this about fucking flying. Everybody said that same dumb shit about 9/11. I'll tell you this much. Once somebody takes a bus one time, you're going to be like, you know what? I'll gamble with the coronavirus.
The airports are safer than hospitals. There's like 11 people on a flight. They're spraying everything. And airports are safer than hospitals right now.
I don't believe it.
I can't take a hospital to Florida, stupid. What I'm saying is, okay, I'll drive. I would drive before I flew anywhere.
Will you drop me off at my mother's house?
How are the hospitals in Japan there, Noam?
Why are you making fun of me?
On the hospital chart. We looked at that the other day.
Yes,
Are you with me or with them?
I'm tired today.
My
Yeah,
wife
not
will
let that
turn
go.
on a dime. What about you, Estee? What are your kids doing for you?
She don't know
He
yet.
doesn't know yet. It's a
Yeah.
surprise.
Yeah, how could she know that?
That was Estee's son.
We know. We got it.
No, yeah. No, we thought it was the pool boy.
All right, you guys.
All right, let's wrap
Happy
this up.
Mother's Day to all the mothers.
Happy Mother's Day, everyone.
Monday.
Juanita, happy Mother's Day.
Dustin,
Estee, happy
Tom,
Mother's Day.
Juanita, you look beautiful. Estee, you look beautiful. Noam, Matt, you guys have a great day. We'll see
Yo,
you guys.
miss
Love you
you,
guys.
Estee. I
Stay
miss
safe, everybody.
I'm going to
8:30.
go. I'm going to look for John Fisch right now. I'm going to go find.